Thank you for joining us on this edition of Your City in 5. I'm your host, YC5. Let's talk about the city's budget. The City Council recently approved the fiscal year 2023 budget that includes a decrease to the tax rate. Here's how that budget will affect you, the taxpayer.
The fact that the council voted, the majority of them voted in favor of it, I think we're going to have a good budget that not only reduces the tax rate considerably, but it also funds a lot of the priorities that the council has and that this community has.
The fiscal year 2023 budget focuses on making significant investments in public safety. The budget will cover other important items such as improving streets, paying for quality of life projects, taking care of city employees, and paying for inflation costs. Here's a breakdown of those priorities. The budget will support public safety by keeping our city one of the safest in the country, hiring more police officers and firefighters that will work at new police command centers and fire stations, purchasing new police cars and fire equipment. The budget also includes the firefighters' collective bargaining agreement. For the next 4 years, firefighters will continue receiving an annual standard 5% increase plus an additional 3% salary increase. Vacations and benefits will also increase, and there will be incentive pay for specialized training.
So the previous city manager, they would hire outside counsel, and they would use those attorneys to bargain with the firefighters. Your current city manager uses his own team, his own staff, his own in-house counsel to negotiate, which I think is a huge benefit to the taxpayers and savings to them.
The budget also supports improving our streets by setting aside $10 million to resurface streets. It also invests more than $2 million in the traffic safety and neighborhood traffic mitigation program. Another priority is quality of life, obtaining funds to continue operating quality of life facilities that are set to open to the public next year. Those include the Children's Museum, the Mexican American Cultural Center, the Penguin Exhibit at the Zoo, and the Joy Barraza and Vino Regional Park. The budget also supports paying for increases in fixed costs and contracts because of inflation. This includes rising costs in items such as technology, janitorial services, security services, the upcoming November election, and utilities. The budget also makes an investment in the city's workforce to retain current employees and recruit new ones, raising the minimum wage paid to employees by 9% and providing incentives for new and current employees.
Our workforce, it's an area where we've had to continue to make investments to be competitive with the private sector and other governmental agencies in the area.
The City Council also approved the new tax rate, the largest tax rate reduction in more than 35 years.
The tax rate we've reduced from the 90.7 to 86.2, which is not insignificant. I think we also hear the community when they say, well, our values are still going up and we're still paying a portion of that. That is true. And we would tell them that that portion is going to a lot of their priorities to fund police, fire, equipment replacement for those two departments, streets. This has millions of dollars in there for more streets for their community. And then we have some dollars in there for some of the park improvements as well.
There's often confusion on the distribution of property taxes. Well, here's a breakdown. The city of El Paso receives only 29% of property taxes. The other 4 entities that collect taxes are school districts, El Paso County, University Medical Center, and El Paso Community College. The city allocates funds for the police and fire department to protect the safety and well-being of our community. Other investments include public health services, trash and recycling services, street and quality of life services like senior centers and rec centers. Also funded with 29% are festivals like Chalk the Block, Dia de los Muertos, and Winterfest. Although city leaders worked hard on the 2023 fiscal year budget, the process is now underway for next year's budget. As a taxpayer, city leaders say it's important to get involved in the process because the budget is a key item for the city.
Adopting a budget is probably the largest event that the City Council takes action on. It's the largest responsibility of the city manager to develop a $1.2 billion budget for our city. And again, these are, tax dollars that the public is paying. And so it's important that they have all of the information and they're fully informed as to where those tax dollars are going and how it's improving this community overall.
Now, the new city budget starts on September 1st. For more information and more details on the 2023 fiscal year budget, visit elpasotexas.gov. And that's going to do it for us on this edition of Your City in 5 from City Hall. For Mario Ramirez, who's behind the camera, I'm YC5. Stay safe and please be good to each other. We'll see you next time on Your City in 5.